I'm Pastor Todd, and this is your Truth in 2 for today. There was once a blind woman who was led to Jesus, and she wanted everybody to know about it, but she wasn't sure how she could go about doing that. So she went to her pastor, and she said, "Could you get me a Bible?" And he said, "But you can't read it. You're blind." And she said, "I know, but get me one anyway. And when you bring it to me, would you open it to the Gospel of John and find chapter 3 and underline verse 16. It says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but has everlasting life." And so the pastor did that. He underlined the passage and he gave her the Bible. She made her way to a local school and she stood outside of the school. And when the students were dismissed, she was there standing. And when a student would approach her, she would say, "Excuse me, do you read? Could you find John chapter 3 and locate verse 16? It's underlined, and would you read it to me?" And these students would very kindly find the verse, and then they would read it to her. And she would say, "Do you understand what this is saying?" And she would take that opportunity to share the gospel with those students. And over the years, she led many people to Jesus Christ. And out of all the people that she led to Jesus, did you know that 24 of those young men actually became pastors? This blind woman, in one verse, led so many to Christ. If Jesus is really your Lord, you ought to look for opportunities to share him. There is no handicap. There is no incapability that you have that God can't overcome. If you really love him, then you'll share him in whatever unique way you can. So think about that today, all right? And that's your Truth in 2 today.